Terrorism, right? This is a word that, that's, I'm going to call it bantered about, and it's a big word in the public sphere, geopolitically and the like, because of the nature and the place that Al-Islam has in the geopolitical scheme. It's very important for us to get a grip on the contemporary and historical way that this term has been used. And so this document, what document? Yeah, it is a document. This piece is one of the pieces that I'm using to walk through the understanding of that. The original article, the first article, the primary quotations are taken from an article from Truthdig. If you don't subscribe to truthdig.com, I do recommend that you subscribe to it, because it is a bevy or a group of journalists who are outside of the, let's call it the Fifth Estate, the establishment, the echo chamber, as it's called sometime, of the thought that they want to hold the masses of people to. And so this is just one portion of that article here. And I do recommend you go back, find the article, whatever the latest truthdig.com report is, and a part of the URL is you won't like it, but here it is. It's as though it's presented as, okay, the person who's about to be the next president of the United States has asked you to consult with them on the subject of ISIS. And what would you tell this candidate about ISIS, right? So you see in the footnote a portion of the title where it says, well, here it is, but you won't like it. You won't like it, but here's the answer on the quote-unquote Islamic State. And so I just took a portion out of it for that purpose. Oh, excuse me, I need to get one thing straight here. I have my backup. Okay, so let's begin the reading. In the Middle East, this is somewhere down in the article. This is not like the opening paragraph of the article. As you see at the top, this is from page 3 of the article, actually. In the Middle East after World War I, representatives of the victorious British and French drew up national boundaries without regard for ethnic, sectarian, religious, tribal, resource, or other realities. Okay? This is a big important part of the world that we're living in right now. I mean, not just the geographical world, obviously, most importantly, the geopolitical world and the geopolitical circumstances that exist. They didn't come out of a vacuum. They didn't come out of nowhere. It didn't come, Muslims just went crazy and everybody's just been trying to protect themselves from the crazy Muslims in the world. No, this line here points to something very, very important, and it depends on how deeply concerned you are about really understanding what makes the modern world what it is. You do need to go back and look at this redrawing of the map, particularly of what we call the Middle East. And who were the ones who redrew that map? And what were the consequences of the redrawing of that map? Well, we're still experiencing the reverberation of that decision. It's very important to understand, because if you depend on just on the media as it is right now, which is all corporately owned, that main media that we listen to, I don't care, Xfinity, Comcast, it's like they belong to Disney or somebody else, and they're only going to let you hear whatever things you're going to hear. So if you depend on that, you would think that Muslims just went crazy. 9/11, it all started. Suddenly Muslims, that day we realized that Muslims were crazy. No. This first line says it. They redrew national boundaries without regard for ethnic, sectarian, religious, tribal, resource, or other realities. Totally disrespected the nature of reality, as it were, in that country. Even let's go back just briefly to the 90s, right? 91, Saddam Hussein, the quote unquote the invasion of Kuwait, and then whatever, Desert Storm, Desert Sands, whatever the many names that they have for that. It was because the West, America in particular, gave a wink to Saddam that, hey, we're not going to do anything if you go in there and try to get that part of your country back, because really, Kuwait really was a part of Iraq before they redrew that map. That's America telling Saddam, who was their partner at that, or about to get played off at the time. History has shown us that so he got baited into making that move, but it was based on a reaction to the redrawn lines that he didn't draw. Okay, so the hostilities and the animosities are still existing there. I mean, even in America, where you have the idea the South shall rise again, and lowering the American flag, and you have a number of states, not just Texas. You have other states that were talking about we're going to secede from the Union. So the point is that those antipathies and those sentiments are always lurking beneath the surface, and all it takes is some flashpoint to cause all of those old passions, old sentiments to be regurgitated and come back online because somebody's holding on to it. Mashallah. So okay, enough of that. Make a note for yourself if you wanna come back with comments on other things as we go through this. So that's very important. So go back and get some idea about the redrawing of that map. I will say this. President Obama, in his State of the Union address, he made a statement that, and many statements he made gained applause, but it's understood that he said, one of the things he basically said is like, we got to stop redrawing the political map so as to jerry-rig the votes. It wasn't his language, but everything he's talking about, gerrymandering. Do you understand? Gerrymandering means you redraw the boundaries for districts so that the voting public for your office are only those who live within this particular boundary. So if we got too many black votes, I got to put it like that, you got too many black votes or too many Democratic votes or whatever, well, with the power vested in me as a legislator or what have you, or a crony of a legislator, I can redraw the district map such that these people on this side of the street, they can or cannot vote for or against me, and the people on that side of the street, they can or cannot vote against me according to what my political designs are for that district. That's happening daily in the United States of America. Well, they simply did the same thing. I think the actual event was the Balfour Declaration. That's one part of it. Unless that was Africa. I don't know. They've been redrawing maps for as long as they've had the power to do so. Wow. So